Hey, it's Mike. I am back, and I'm going to talk about Prabhupada and child marriage and what he says in the Vedabase, what coming straight from the Vedabase. And we got Howard Johnson. Hey, man, how you doing? Good to see you here. And we got Hayden. Hayden, great to see you here, man. Glad you're all here. Um, as you can see, we're on the banks of the Radhakunda itself. So I thought that was a fitting place to talk about child marriage and what Prabhupada has to say about child marriage. But before I get into the child marriage, I just want to remind maybe some of you new people that don't know who I am, and all you new viewers out there don't know who I am. Yeah, I'm no Swami. I was never a guru or sannyasi. I was never anything like that. What I was I was just a regular devotee whose daughter was molested by these fucking disgusting creeps, or at least one of these disgusting creeps, and the whole community turned against me because I called the police on them, and none of them stood up for my daughter. They all stood up for this guy, and then everybody that I knew, all of my friends, all of my associates in this cult, they all turned against me when I found out the truth about the pedophilia and all of this bullshit. That's who I am. I'm no guru, Swami, ex-Maha. I ain't none of that. I'm just an ordinary guy that got shafted by this friggin' cult after spending 20 years in it. And I'm doing what I can to warn others. And also, now we have a place where we can all get together and we can talk and we can discuss and share our experiences. So that's who I am. And I'm also I'm a cult expert. Evidently, I'm a cult expert, and I give a Chaitanya Charitamrita class every now and then. That's about it, just for fun. So all you new people out there, that's who I am, and I have videos where I talk about more about all of that. But right now, what I want to get into is Knitting Cult Lady, because I like to start the show with Knitting Cult Lady, because she's always on the money. She knows everything, and so sometimes people talk about, well, what about the good groups? What about the good groups? Okay. What about the good cults? Let's see what she has to say about this, because I know what I have to say about. I know what I have to say, but let's see what she has to say. Oh, wait a minute. We didn't even get to the opening yet. Hello. We got to get to the opening. I can't start the show without the opening. Sorry, everybody. No.
Hello?
Hello.
All right, I'm back. Yes, thanks for sticking it out, that opening there. So I want to start with the Knitting Cult Lady, because she talks about good groups, okay, the good cults. Let's see what she has to say about this. I hope I can get this going right. Let's see. That should be. She does have sound problems every now and then. If I can get her going here. I don't know. I guess not. I guess not.
I wrote a book called Uncultured about
Oops.
growing up in a very bad group. This is so fascinating to me, and this is why I'm so hesitant to call any group a good group. Comment says, Australia did a royal commission into the institutional response to abuse. Every organization defended the organization rather than support the members. Scouts, Hare Krishna, Yoga Swamis, and it keeps going on. And this is like one of my things as an organizational psychologist who studies bad groups. I'm Danielle, a scholar of cults, extreme groups, and extremely bad leadership. And people are always like, what about good groups? I'm like, okay. First of all, I think considering yourself a good group is probably a danger. Second of all, show me. Point to where individuals are protected. Point to where sometimes the group loses so that the individuals can win. Because systems are not valid if they're not self-sustaining. And if the individual is always having to lose for the good of the group, it's not a good group. I wrote a book called Uncultured about growing up in a very bad group, the Children of God religious cult, and then going into the cult of the US Army, which really does seem to think it's a good group. And Americans seem to think that, because when I was first starting to write this book, I would get told, well, the Children of God is obviously evil. The United States Army, that's a wonderful organization. And 1.3 million people trained to conduct violence on behalf of state. Yeah, kill very efficiently. It's not a good group. We try hard as leaders in the Army to have values and make decisions based on those values, but it is not a good group. You can get signed copies of Uncultured attached here, or listen to me read it to you on Spotify Premium if you're interested in order culting of.
Okay, so yeah, I've had this discussion many times, and I've had made videos where I've talked about the difference between uh, Hinduism and Hare Krishna cults and stuff like that, or other gurus, or other and again, I feel that for me personally, I feel like there are no good gurus, because it's the idea that you have to surrender to this guru and he's going to teach you something. He's going to inject some knowledge into your head. If you surrender, or you do this, or you do that, that's abusive. It's spiritual blackmail. It's not on the up and up. Someone who may is just there as a teacher, that might like a life coach or something like that. Ain't such a big deal. Says the people who are so freaking uncultured. Yeah, I mean, abusing women and abusing children, and that, it's very uncultured. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's a pedophile cult is really it's really disgusting. So I'm glad you recognize that, because we'll see when we talk about Prabhupada's go through what Prabhupada's own words, we'll see exactly how disgusting, how actual disgusting they are. And let's see what else we got here. So here, this is another. She brings up another great point. And so, all you people out there that are in the cult and you're brainwashed, yeah, you guys. I don't know about what you mean, you guys. I don't know who you're talking about when you say you guys. I don't understand that. But we're gonna watch this lady because she's a cult expert, and I know the truth hurts. I know the truth hurts, but it's you gotta face the facts. You gotta just face the facts. And I know it's painful to admit that you've been fooled and scammed, but I can't help that. So you came to the right place so you can hear the truth. You definitely did that. You're definitely in the right place. Here we go.
I have issued this call to every one of you that wants to get upset at me for calling Alcoholics Anonymous a cult, which I have a whole playlist of, by the way, and have probably written one of the most researched books about with an Alcoholics Anonymous survivor. You can pre-order, attached here. So here's my question. If Alcoholics Anonymous is not a cult, why are your survivors showing up to my spaces, my happy hours, and staying sober? Because I'm the only one that can explain what happened to them. Why? Oh, get your ovaries on this one too. Why does every single person who defines cult have to answer two questions? What about the military and what about Alcoholics Anonymous? It's because they're both cults. And it doesn't matter how many people you've helped. Not at all. The Children of God religious sex cult that raped children was really good at getting people sober. Got about 10,000 people sober, including Jeremy Spencer of Fleetwood Mac. You should go Google what he did with his saved life. And yes, that's in the book. Scientology, also very good at getting people sober. In fact, cults prey on people who struggle with drugs and alcohol because those are people they can easily recruit into their cult. You are not a good group when this many people have been harmed by you. Do you have the ovaries to answer my question? I'll be here all day. If not, have a day. Stickers attached. I'm needing Cult Lady stickers. For those who want to know more, have I read the book?
So it looks like we have a brainwashed cult member in here. It's talking about I'm talking about you when I use the term uncultured. Yeah, while you abuse women and abuse children, and you want to call us uncultured. You read books about pedophilia, where old men are marrying little girls, and we're going to get into all that. And how women, you're like the Taliban, but you want to call us uncultured. When we throw our child molesters in jail, you let them go. But yeah, go on and tell us about how we're uncultured. And you're not here to school anybody on anything because you don't know anything. What the hell do you know? What do you know? Tell us what you're here to school us on and what you know. Tell us what you know, Mr. Brainiac, whoever you are. Tell us what you know. You don't know shit. All you know is you want to be an 11-year-old girl so Krishna can bend you over during the Rasa dance and have sex with you. That's all you know. You don't know anything else. You're not here to school anybody. You're here to be deprogrammed. That's what you're here for. You're here because the algorithm told you, because the algorithm knew that you're a friggin' cult member, that you need to watch these videos so you can see how stupid you are. That's what the algorithm did, and that's why you're here. I didn't tell you to come in here. I didn't tell you this. Friggin' YouTube smarter than you. YouTube's smarter than you. YouTube said, you know what? This guy's brainwashed because all he's searching all day is his stupid Krishna shit. So you know what? He needs to see Mike so Mike can fucking educate him. Now tell me, you're not here to school anybody. Tell me what you know. If you're so brainiac, you're so smart, what do you know? What do you know? What the fuck do you know? You don't know shit. What do you know? You're going to chant some mumbo jumbo and play some chingy chings and you think you're fucking the smartest person in the world? It fucking just shows you how stupid you are. So you should just shut up and watch these videos. That's what you need to do, is just shut up and watch these videos. Yeah, I'm going to show you who marries who. So you shut the fuck up, you stupid shithead. What a fucking piece of shit you are. Now I'm gonna show you how they fucking got you brainwashed. I'm gonna show you exactly how they got you brainwashed. Watch this. She's gonna tell you. She's gonna show you exactly how they brainwashed your stupid ass. You fucking stupid ass.
Today for Devotions with Daniela, we are reading from the second book of Daniela, The Culting of America, and we shall see where the Spirit leads us today. Ooh, isolation. This is the isolation chapter. Isolation, or sometimes insulation from the outside world, is crucial to high control environments. Cults frequently push members to disconnect from external relationships and spaces, limiting their interactions in ways that make them more vulnerable to the group's control. Whether it's relocating people to a remote commune, setting up strict rules about who you can talk to, or creating boundaries or demands that make it impossible to keep up with friends and family, the outcome is the same: severing members from their old lives and support systems. Once that's done, the group builds a little bubble where its ideology can thrive, untouched by the outside perspective.
That's how they got you. They isolated you They isolated you and built a bubble around you. So now everything you think and feel and know is coming from them. And then you're isolated and you're in a bubble and you can't even comprehend the real world that you live in. And you want to talk about all this bullshit about Jesus, and no one's talking about Jesus. I ain't preaching for Jesus. I ain't telling nobody to go do anything with Jesus. I ain't telling you to give up whatever the fuck you're doing. I'm telling you that this is a fucking pedophile cult and that's pissing you off. So evidently you're a pedophile or you're a cult member. I'm not sure which one. But that's all I'm talking about is this is a pedophile cult and you're already flying off the handle talking about Jesus. So that you just gave yourself away right there. I don't know what the fuck. Marry your own stepmom. Who the fuck are you talking about marrying your own stepmom? You're just like, you don't know what to say. You don't know what to say about anything. You can't defend this cult, so you're going to just start talking about marrying stepmoms. What the fuck? Are you like totally stupid or what? Are you stupid or just a piece of shit? Because I don't know which one it is. You got me confused. I don't know. Sometimes I think you're a piece of shit. Sometimes I think you're just a fucking idiot. And I'm starting to think you're a stupid idiot piece of shit. That's what I'm starting to think. Don't start with you. Fuck you. What the fuck? Who the fuck are you to tell me? I'll kick your ass out of here. Oh, you want to see? This is what you got. Well, this is what I was going to get to anyway. So let's watch what these fucking freaks like. They like this. This is what these freaks like. They like little girls. They like talking to little girls.
Hare Krishna,
Look,
thank you, Ananga
they got a
Mandiri,
fucking
for having
6,
me in
7-year-old
your
girl
wonderful podcast.
that they're indoctrinating. And I don't even want to watch the video because it's disgusting to watch these freaks with a little girl knowing that their history of abuse and their history of rape and their rape culture and saying that little girls need to be married and women are less intelligent and are dumb and have small brains. And they have the nerve to go on YouTube with a little girl who they want to marry at the age of 11 or 12. They want to marry this little girl off. They're gonna want to marry this little girl off by the time she's 11 or 12. You believe that shit? You believe that shit? And this guy right here, he's probably the one that's gonna marry her. This guy's right there is probably the guy that wants to marry that little girl. He's looking at her like, man, in another 3 years, you're gonna be old enough for me to marry you. And why do I say that? Because it says so in Prabhupada's books. So now we're gonna go to Prabhupada's books and let's see what Prabhupada has to say about child marriage, taken right from Bhakti Scamdanta Prabhufraud, the pedophile of all pedophiles, the most disgusting man that's ever lived on the face of the earth. He created a whole organization so that grown men can molest little kids. His whole organization is all about, here we go. Let's see what he says about women. This is a room conversation that he had, and it says, Prabhupada says, no, that is possible. That requires education. That is another. By nature, the woman's body is different from man's. Chaitya Guru, women are subordinate. Not subordinate, actually. The occupations are different. Prabhupada, not subordinate, actually. The occupations are different. It does not mean that that is another mistake. Just like the leg is walking and the head is directing. So although the occupation is different, both of them are important. We require the head and leg also. If simply head is there, if there is no leg, then who will walk? This is understanding, not equal. Men and women are not equal. Everyone must have his separate duties to serve the whole. That is the arrangement. This is real understanding. The most important part of the body is the head. But that does not mean the leg is not important. Leg is important in its work, and head is important in its work. So we require both, head and tail both, not that simply leg or simply head. But when we make comparative study, we can understand that the head is more important than the leg. There you go. If you cut your leg, you can live. But if you cut your head, you can't. You'll die. So there you go, right there. And Look at this guy. So sad. So sad life, dude. And you know what's sad is when you got an 80-year-old fake guru who spends his life pushing a shopping cart of books around the town square, or a 75-year-old Prabhupada who spends his life pushing a shopping cart around the Costco parking lot or Pasadena City College, and he just wasted his whole life to sell these stupid fucking books. Talk about wasting your friggin' life all for nothing, because these books are fucking fairy tales. Can you imagine that, wasting your whole life selling fairy tale books? So Prabhupada, this is another conversation, Prabhupada. That means they want permanent husband. That is their heart's desire. But no husband. Is that civilization? And here the father's duty is that before she attains puberty, let me find out husband. Suitable. This is civilization. So here this idiot's talking about, this guy's talking about we're not civilized. And here Prabhupada is saying that real civilization is marrying off a little girl before she attains puberty. It's fucking disgusting. These people, that's why I say these people are disgusting friggin' pedophiles. Shut up with your fallen soul crap. No, it's fucking fallen souls. And your cult crap doesn't work, man. I don't know how to tell you. Before she attains puberty, let me find out husband suitable. This is civilization. Okay, so so this guy, he's calling me a fallen soul. But I want to know, do you agree that a little girl should be, before a puberty, that little girls should be married? Do you agree with that or not? You tell me, Mr. 09 Aditya. You agree with Prabhupada when he says that or no? You agree with that or not? Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next quote. This is Prabhupada again. Prabhupada says, Manu is the father of mankind. So he got his law book. That Manu Samhita law book is still followed in India so far as the Hindus are concerned. So in that book, Manu Samhita, it is stated, blah, blah, blah. Women should not be given independence. He gives the law that women should not be given independence. Then, when should be the life? The life should be so long she's not married. She must live under the guidance, dependent on the parents. As soon as she is married, she should live dependent on her husband. And when the husband is gone, because according to Hindu system, the husband does not remain at home for all the days till death. No, when children are grown, he gives up the wife and children and becomes a sannyasi. So not only does he marry the girl when he's little, not only does he marry the girl when she's 11, 12 years old, then he just throws her away when he's done with her so he can go, he can go to the forest and play guru or whatever. These people are so sick, and they support this. They agree with this. They agree. Look, he says right here, I support Prabhupada. They agree with child marriage. These guys are disgusting. They agree with child marriage. Here's another one. Prabhupada, well, you can educate your children. Suppose you marry at the age of 25 years with a grown-up girl at 11, and you get a child with 1 year, and when you are 50 years old, the child is 25 years old, so you can entrust your family affairs to the grown-up children and retire. Yeah, if one marries at the age of 25. Prabhupada, so why does he not? Marriage must be finished for boys 25 years, for girls 16. Prabhupada is saying that girls must be married by the age of 16, no later than 16. Prabhupada is saying that 16 is late to marry your girls. Girls need to be married before that. This is Taliban shit. These people right here are like, they are all in for the Taliban type shit. You know what? Dude, what the fuck? He's trying to blame me for what Prabhupada says. He's trying to blame me for what Prabhupada says. Dude, what the fuck? Why is everything that you think, say, or do is about people mating? It's not me. This is Prabhupada saying this. Why are you defending this crap? Why do you defend this crap, man? look, you can't, you agree with this or not? You agree with Prabhupada or not? Your buddy said, yeah, I support Prabhupada. He says, I support all of this shit. I support that women shouldn't be, you support this Taliban crap, man. You guys support this Taliban crap. And you'll come right into my chat and you'll admit it. You'll admit that you would support children being married. Women have no say in what they do. You believe in this shit. Here's another one, right here, right here. So this, but according to Vedic concept, the girls are married at the age of 12 to 16. 12 to 16. Prabhupada says, but according to Vedic concept, the girls are married at the age of 12 to 16 years, and boys are married from 20 to 25 years. So all the girls were married mostly, but Krishna was not married. So there you go. These are 12-year-old girls that Krishna is having sex with at the Rasa dance. Shut up. You're saying there's no context. I read the context. I read exactly what Prabhupada says. Don't try to say that there's no context. I'm reading Prabhupada's words directly from the Vedabase out of a conversation that he's having. And he's very clear with what he's saying. You people are so fucked up that you defend this pedophilia, you defend child marriage, you defend that women can just get smacked around, and you're just going to sit there and accept it. And everywhere in the world, especially in respect to child marriage, is the norm. See, there it is, right there. Everywhere in the world, he says it's respected. These people are delusional, and they want to just normalize child marriage right here because they will not go against what Prabhupada says. They won't go against it. They will not go against what Prabhupada says. You show them the words right out of the books, and they will sit there and go, it isn't what it's meant to say. Oh, this isn't what it meant. No. What the fuck does it mean? When Prabhupada says, but according to Vedic concept, the girls are married at the age of 12 to 16 years, and boys are married from 20 to 25 years, what's the context then? That's the context. The context is according to Vedic concept. And what's the subject? Girls are married at the age of 12. You disgusting pieces of shit will defend and defend and defend all of this crap. Here's another one. Here's another conversation Prabhupada is saying. Then they're going to defend it. They're going to defend it. Yes, let us have Krishna as our husband. Now, Krishna was at that time only 15, 16 years old. In India still, the boys 15, 16 years old, they are not married. At least he must be 20, 22. And girls are married between 12 to 16. So, that's enough. I've shown enough places where Prabhupada says that 12-year-old girls must be married to 20 to 25-year-old men. And they want to sit there, they want to sit in this chat, and they don't want to go against what Prabhupada says. They don't want to say that Prabhupada is wrong. So they're going to defend child marriage, which I knew they would. I knew they would. I knew they would come in here and do that. And they laugh. They laugh about it. They think it's funny. This is Taliban shit, right? They respect women as much as the Taliban do. They want to marry 11, 12, 13-year-old girls off to grown 25-year-old men that have a beard and a turban like the Taliban. And that's what these guys are defending. And all of you Hare Krishnas out there that aren't speaking up, that are watching this video, you believe this shit? You believe that this is what Prabhupada says? And this shit's in his books. It's in his conversations. If a boy likes a boy, boy likes a boy, get them married. No illicit relation and divorce later. Yeah, you tell that to Trivik Ram. You guys are so full of shit. You guys are so hypocritical and full of shit. I'm glad that you're here because now all the other Hare Krishnas that already have doubts and they see the cracks and they see the hypocrisy and they see the sexism and racism, but they didn't know what to think. They didn't know what to say. They come in and they watch this video and they see this and they see people like you defending this shit. And it's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call for them to see how you people will defend this crap. This crap. Look, says the one who comes from a country where they marry their own moms and daughters. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not promoting anything like that, but you are. You're sitting there defending this. And the way that you defend it is you try to want to blame me for it. You want to blame me for doing what you do, what your guru says to do. You want to somehow blame me. Say, well, you come from a country where, no, I don't come from a country where we do anything like that. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This is your guru saying this. This is your cult that does this. This is your cult that does this. And you want to blame me for it. You want to blame me like I'm marrying my mom or I'm marrying my daughter. No, this is all on you. But you can't handle it. You just can't handle it. Look, get a class and then you'll understand, dude. You're so fucking stupid. I've been through more classes and more books and more lectures and more shit. I've forgotten more than you'll ever know. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're like this. Look, what is this? Now I'm going to more defending child marriage. They are married, but they don't engage physically until later. Bullshit. Don't give me that bullshit. Prabhupada says he took his 11-year-old wife's hand and she cried. But gradually, over time, she stopped crying. Now what? Was she crying because he took her hand? You think I'm stupid? You think Prabhupada is stupid? You think Prabhupada thought I was that stupid? That when Prabhupada says he took his wife's hand when she was 11 and he was 22 years old, he says he took her hand, she started crying. I can just picture that fucking disgusting old man, Prabhupada, having sex, raping that poor little 11-year-old girl. And then he fucking just abandons her like the piece of shit that he is. Fucking A, you're going to tell me that he did, oh yeah, he just took her hand. That's so fucking stupid. Look at this guy. What the fuck? I earlier just heard about you guys that you're so freaking fallen. I don't know what the fuck you guys. Who are you talking about, you guys? And if I'm so fallen, what the fuck you doing in this class? You're the one that needs this class. You're the one that's getting a taste of what your cult is all about. Your cult is all about this child marriage. I ain't making this shit up. I'm reading it right off of your own webpage. Your own Vedabase is full of this crap. And there's nothing you can do about it. So you want to sit there and say, well, you marry your mom and you're so freaking fallen and you're so this and yama do to that and yama do to this and you're going to go to a hellish planet and all this other crap that they've been brainwashed you into saying and you into believing that you think that that's going to matter to me. Yes, people are so fucking stupid with your child marriage and your women are less intelligent and women like to be raped. I'm telling you, you're the fucking Taliban. You're fucking like the Taliban. You're abusive. You abuse your children. You don't give a fuck about your children. You don't give a fuck about your women. You don't give a fuck about anybody. You prop up these predator gurus, these pedophile gurus like Trivikram and Giri Raj and all these other pieces of shit. And you worship them and you wash their feet. And then it makes you feel good, makes you think like you're smarter than everybody else. What a fucking piece of shit. You guys are a bunch of pieces of shit. No, I'm not in a parallel universe, dude. I'm in the real world. You're in the fucking fantasy land where you're going to space travel to another planet and get the body of an 11-year-old girl and be a gopi so Krishna can bend you over during the rasa dance and fuck you in the ass. That's your fantasy world. That's your fantasy world. They need to hear this. They need to hear this more than anybody. Because he's going to remember this for the rest of his life. He's going to remember when Mike gave him a load of shit. He's going to remember when Mike gave him a load of shit online, and it's going to be online and on video forever. And he's going to remember this shit. And one day he's going to wake up and leave this cult. And he's going to think back on the time when he came in here and acted like a fool. Acting like a fool. Look, there they go. Of course women's brains are smaller and their bodies are smaller. My new computer is much faster, better, has better storage, into better quality sound, da, da, da. Size has nothing. I don't know. I don't. Uncultured pigs. While I'm reading you about your guru marrying little girls off to grown men, and you want to call me an uncultured pig? Fuck you, you piece of shit. You can't even see how disgusting you are. You're defending this pedophilia. You're a pedophile defender. You're defending the pedophilia that's in Prabhupada's books. Prabhupada is telling you that you can be a 25-year-old man and it's okay, it's Vedic to have a 12-year-old girl, a 12-year-old wife. And you're defending that. And then you're turning around and saying, I'm uncultured. I'm this and I'm that. Because you can't handle the words of your own guru. You can't handle your guru, what your guru has to say. It's amazing. It's amazing that they will come right in here and say, I agree with Prabhupada. Little girls can be married. Women should shut up and sit down and be quiet. They don't deserve an education. I could go on and show you so many. I could go on and show you so many quotes about Negroes, about homosexuals, about everything. And these guys will defend every single one of them. They'll defend it all. They'll defend it all. Comes from people who are high all the time using all kinds of drugs. Nope. Your cult does it all. Your cult is defending this pedophilia. I did exactly what I set out to do. I set out to set a trap so that you Hare Krishnas would come in here and start defending this stuff. And you did. You did exactly what I knew you would do. And now I got it on video. I feel pretty good about it. I'm alcohol. Whatever. You anything but talk about what Prabhupada says. You don't want to talk about the fact that he's promoting child marriage, 12-year-old girls before puberty, that he had sex with an 11-year-old girl when he was 22. You don't want to talk about that. If you hate women because you were raised to believe crap, be careful with the law. Prabhupada is teaching these people to act like this and behave like this. And they want to defend him. Homeless and whatnot? Okay, whatever. We're not talking about your mom here, dude. You understand what I'm talking about? I'm talking about child marriage and how Prabhupada promotes child marriage. No, I don't say to follow Jesus. You happy? I don't say to follow Jesus. Why would I do that? Are you that brainwashed that you have to think that everything is either, oh, if he's not this, then you can't follow you can't follow the point. You can't focus. We're not focusing on Jesus right now. We're focusing on the words that I read from Prabhupada. The title of this, the thumbnail that you clicked on, the video that you clicked on, said Prabhupada and child marriage. It didn't say anything about Jesus. It didn't say anything about Jesus. It said Prabhupada and child marriage. So I don't know. This is just as fake as it gets, starting with their guru. It's just as fake as it gets, but what I really wanted to show with this video was I wanted to show you how they will come out of the woodwork to come out and defend this. That this is what they believe. This is what they believe. When you push it to their face and say, this is what Prabhupada says, do you agree with this? They will say, yes, I agree. They will start making excuses for what he says, but they will never say Prabhupada is wrong. They'll say, well, you don't understand. You're taking it out of context. You're offensive, and you have sex with your stepmother. They'll say everything else, but they will never say that Prabhupada is wrong. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Prabhupada could say you can have sex with your German shepherd, and they would come out and say, you can have sex with your German Shepherd. And they're going to sit here and say, oh, that's so disgusting, and that's that and that. It's not me saying it. This is Prabhupada saying it. And so all the stuff that you say is disgusting is this and that. This is Prabhupada saying it. Oh, you're crying now? I say, okay, whatever you say. I'm not Guru Hari. I'm not giggling and crying when I hear the holy name. I'm not typical Jesus follower. Wow, you're really lost. You're really lost in the ether. Yeah, you do. You defend it all. You defend it all, or you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't care. You care so much that you're gonna sit in here and you're gonna react to everything I say. That's how much you care. You care more than anybody. You're the most caring person in here. You care more in here than anyone in this chat is you caring. You're just typing on like going on and talking. This is a 12-year-old child acting like a 12. I know, it's ridiculous. Yeah. It's like going on and on, going on and on and on. Okay, he's done. So anyway, he got a good dose of this cult. And this other person that was in here, who said, I actually agree with Prabhupada. And all the other people that are in here that are not talking up. Do you agree with Prabhupada when he says all these things, all this disgusting crap? Does anybody have anything to say? Nobody wants to say anything. I see there's a bunch of people in here. More people in here than I don't know what's going on, but no, but he's probably not a teenager. He's probably a grown adult. Because that's how they act. They can't come in here and say anything. They have they have nothing to say. They just want to come in and disrupt and all of that, but they just I care I care about his meme page, or I care about any of this crap. If you can bring more people to my channel, that's great. Bring more people to my channel. I don't care. I really don't. I know that I'm getting through to people. I know I'm getting through to people, and I know I'm exposing this pedophile crap with their own crap. This is coming from them. I don't have to make anything up. I've said this from the beginning. I don't need to sit here and make anything up. I don't need to exaggerate. I don't need to do any of that. Ban Maharaj from Narayan Maharaj was outed for permitting human abuse in his temples. He didn't do anything about it. Yeah, so, so I just, somebody sent me, I don't know how I got this. I don't know. I was somewhere looking at something, and I think you're talking about this guy, right? You're talking about this guy. And if you, I'm not anti-Hindu. I'm anti-pedophile cult. I'm anti-pedophile cult. That's what I'm anti. I'm anti-pedophile cult. If you're religious, if you happen to be in a pedophile cult, I can't help that. If you're in a cult that believes in child marriage and 11-year-old, 12-year-old girls should be married to 25-year-old men, I can't help that. You can help it, but I can't help it. Yeah. Okay. So Narayan Maharaj and all of Prabhupada's godbrothers, they're all preaching the same crap. They're all preaching the same books. They're all preaching that Chaitanya had that little fling with Chota Haridas and caused him to commit suicide. Ramananda Roy was touching little girls. They're all, the Gaudiya Math had issues back. All this stuff is documented, and then this Sridhar Maharaj and these guys, those are all shady characters too. None of these guys are innocent of anything. That doesn't mean they all touched a little girl or a little boy, but ain't none of them. They're all scammers. And when you get into they're all scammers, they're scamming it all on different levels. They're not all equal scammers. Some are more scammers, some are less scammers. Some are, and that's up to you to figure that out. If your guru's a scammer or not, don't take my word for it. Because I'm going to tell you straight up, your guru is scamming you, okay? And that is it. And I know you didn't ask me, and that's why I'm not telling you. I'm just saying. If you ask me, I'm going to say, that's like saying, well, what carnival barker is safe to go to that's not going to rip me off? Like, well, what kind of question is that? What carnival barker is not going to rip you off? The truth is coming out full force this year. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's all over Facebook. You need to know that all gurus in this cult are the same, starting with Prabhupada. Yeah, they don't even see. That's what I was saying the other day. Was a lot of people that aren't readers, they haven't read a lot of stuff, and they don't know. They chanting, they're going to the temple, and they're hearing one verse lecture a day, maybe. One from Bhagavad Gita, maybe one from the Bhagavatam if they're up for Bhagavatam class. But they're not reading. Who reads? Who reads today? Everybody's on TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram. Who's sitting down and reading Prabhupada's books? These people don't know what Prabhupada said. They don't know what Prabhupada's talking about 12-year-old girls, 11-year-old girls, marrying 25-year-old men. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know. A lot of people don't know that Chota Haridas committed suicide because he went and got some rice from the old lady, Madhavi Devi. Because they don't know. They haven't got to that point, and they never heard that story, and they haven't read Chaitanya Charitamrita. There is no Chaitanya Charitamrita class. You got to read that on your own. And here these gurus are being excused for everything. Left, right, and center, they're being excused. Oh, he was with his disciple, excused. Oh, he was caught with excused. Meanwhile, Chaitanya Charitamrita, it doesn't say anything about excusing anybody. I know, it's so funny. It is so funny. It's so funny. And that's the thing, is there's so many of these devotees that are in there that are think they know so much, because they're chanting and they're like Haridas, like Hot Lips. Hot Lips thinks she's giggling and crying and everything, and she thinks she's on another level. What the fuck is that? Does she know about all this pedophilia and the child marriage and women? And I don't know. I don't know if she does or not. That's what I'm saying. In today's age, people even reading Prabhupada's books, you just go to the temple, eat some prasadam, play the thing and the drum and chant and jump around and sell Prabhupada's books and don't even know what the hell you're doing. Next thing you know, they're coming to you and saying, "Hey, your daughter's looking pretty sexy there. Can I marry her off to my grown son?" Like, that's not happening. Like that, like these people aren't coming out and talking about how that happens. And the people coming in here and going, "Yeah, I'm all for 12 years." And she's gonna act like, oh, like that 12-year-old, like that 37-year-old man wasn't gonna get his hands on that 13-year-old girl, and he wasn't gonna have sex with her. He was gonna wait. No, give me a fucking break. The book distribution is outdated. Knowledge is now. Yeah, like I got everything on my computer. I don't have to. I don't buy any books. Crazy. Selling books is just a scam to make money. If they honestly wanted to, they just hand people out the address to Vedabase.com. Go to Vedabase.com and you got everything right there. You don't even need to spend the money on these books. They're just there's no money in there's no money in that. This is a big scam. Gurus flying around, swimming in rivers and camping in Rishikesh, whatever the hell they're doing. These people don't even know. These people don't even know. There's no clue. I'm saying, hey, this is what's going on. You don't even know what's in these books. The way they get mad and yelling and screaming and calling names and doing all this, you'd think I was lying about something. Like I was sitting here making shit up. Like I was saying, no, I'm just reading from their books. And the guy's flying off the handle talking about you're this and that and that and that. It's not like I'm making shit up. It's not like I'm just saying like it is. You got Ramananda Roy touching these little girls. What is the message that they're sending that he is that if he controls his mind, he can rub his hands all over little girls? And then you got Indra Yumna Swami sitting there rubbing his hands all over these little girls? This is fucking disgusting. Come on. Trivikram having sex with his disciple, and then they're like, oh no, he can just slide. He can just slide. Because we found a verse somewhere. Well, shit, there's a whole chapter that says he can't slide. But you guys are going to let him slide? Why? Because he sells books and he brings in money, and he's got his own little thing going. We can't. There's a fucking bunch of bullshit. And they're gonna come in here and yell at me like it's my fault. Just like when my daughter was molested. They yell at me like it's my fault. Why'd you call the police, Prabhu? We don't call the police, Prabhu. Why are you on here talking all this shit? Well, this is Prabhupada's teachings. You don't want people to know Prabhupada's teachings? Well, I thought you were all into Prabhupada's teachings. Next, I'll do a show on Negroes, and all the Negroes can come in. All the black guys can come in here and say, why are you saying Negro? Because Prabhupada said Negro in 1977. And all his followers were saying Negro in 1977. Even though nobody else on the planet was saying the word Negro in 1977, Prabhupada felt it was appropriate, like Prabhupada didn't know any better. And all his disciples, well, they're not going to correct Prabhupada and say, hey, Prabhupada, we haven't used the word Negro since 1942. No, they're right along with him. Well, if Prabhupada can say Negro, I guess we can say it too. Like that's me. No, I didn't say Negro. Prabhupada's the one saying it. I'm not saying that women like to be raped. That's Prabhupada saying it. Oh, you're taking it out of context. Well, what context? It's the same. It's all the same arguments, the same bullshit. It's the same bullshit that they've been saying for 50, 60 years. 50, 60 years they've been saying the same crap. But now in the digital age, you're not going to take anybody's word for it. You can go right to the source. You can go right to the source. You can look at this stuff. You can see what it says. It's on YouTube. You got someone like me explaining it, bringing it out onto YouTube. I don't get that many views or anything, but at least it's there and it's popping up on the algorithm because evidently a bunch of Hare Krishnas found it, got bent out of shape. It's not my fault you got bent out of shape. You fell into my trap because you came in here and you admitted that you agree with this stuff. You made all the standard excuses for why it's okay for little girls to get married. Showed how you all freak out when you read Prabhupada's own words. You see what Prabhupada has to say about women and girls and marriage, child marriage. Child marriage, man, that's less like... How creepy of an old man do you got to be to come in and say that child marriage is okay? It's okay for grown men to have sex with 12-year-old girls. Can't even say that that's wrong. Can't even say that's wrong. They don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit it. This is I don't know. Justice for little girls. Absolutely. You got a cult that's out there spreading these teachings. How many? One, two, three, four different quotes, and that's just scratching the surface of this child marriage thing. I'd be here a week if I was to show you everything that Prabhupada had to say about women and child marriage and women and need to go to school and all this Taliban. I'll probably do that one day. I'm gonna bring up what the Taliban believes, and I'm gonna show you what Prabhupada believes, and I'm gonna put them right side by side, and I'm gonna show you how Prabhupada's ISKCON is just an American Taliban, a Hindu American Taliban. That's all it is. You want to deny women their right to have their own destiny. You want to marry little girls off to grown men. You want to basically have jihad on anyone who doesn't believe in Hare Krishna. You want to have Prabhupada's books as the law books. So you want to have like Prabhupada law, instead of Sharia law, you want to have Prabhupada law. And that way you can have all the child marriage and all the bullshit and woman beating and all the stuff that you crave. Disgusting fucking cult. Fucking disgusting cult. Wasting our lives. Nobody's wasting their lives. People wasting their lives are the people that are pushing a shopping cart around Costco parking lot or the DMV or Pasadena City College and trying to hustle some books to some kids that don't want anything to do with these books. That's a waste. That's wasting your life. There's a woman. When I was at the Hare Krishna Temple in Los Angeles in 1992, there was a woman there named Radharani. And I guess she's probably about my age. She's probably maybe a year or two. She might be a year or two older than me, but she's basically about my age. And she'd go around. She'd have her bag of books, and she'd go around. She'd be selling these, and she'd be around the neighborhood, and she'd be like wherever, like Hollywood Bowl, or she'd be at this. Because sometimes I'd go out. I'd be somewhere, the Forum or the Hollywood Bowl or somewhere. And I'd run into her. and she'd be out there like working the crowd, selling books at like conventions and concerts and big events. She would be out there distributing books back then. So fast forward today, which is almost 34 years later. So 34 years later, my daughter is grown. She's going to be 40 years old. My daughter is grown. And my daughter works at the Hollywood Bowl. She's a security at the Hollywood Bowl. And she told me the other day, not too long ago, she sent me a message saying, "Hey, I ran into Radharani. I ran into Radharani at the Hollywood Bowl. She was out here selling books at the Hollywood Bowl." And then she took a picture of her. She snapped a picture and she sent me the picture of her. She looks exactly the same. She's a little heavier. You know, we all put on a few pounds. She looks exactly the same. Her hair is the same, except it's gray. She got gray hair like me. She got gray hair. She got a little more wrinkles, like me. But she's dressed the same, and she basically the same Radharani with her bag of books. Still got her bag of books. Still hustling these. You know, she sells those little books. You know, those little bunch of the little books, and she's still out there hustling the books. It's 30 something years later. She's still out there selling her books. And she was probably doing that before I met her. So she's probably been doing it for a long time. That, I'm sad to say, is wasting your life. That's a waste of your life. You're selling these books. I mean, she could have went to work. I've said this before. It's taken years and years for me to deprogram. Yes, it's taken me too. Believe me, it's taken me. I was in it for 20 years. 20 years. It took a long time for me to deprogram. Yeah, she's pushing a shopping cart around, books around. It's sad because these books are. You know, I can understand if she was selling. I mean, even if she was selling books like kid Dr. Seuss books, or teaching kids how to read books, or even like coloring books for little kids, or maps to the stars homes. Those are useful books that have a purpose, and that people can find a use for those. Maps to the stars homes. Dr. Seuss, teach your kids how to read. Bedtime stories, exactly. Bedtime stories. You could, Aesop's fables. You could put your kids to sleep. You could teach them to be nice. Good. I don't know. There's nothing that you can teach your kid from these Krishna books. Krishna is, ripping birds apart by the mouth and throwing cows into the tree. And all of these things, there's nothing to teach your kids. There's nothing that your kids can't learn anything from that. It doesn't make sense. Okay, so there's, and it's mythology. If you want to teach a mythology, you can. I'm not against mythology. If you want to teach a mythology, but I wouldn't teach a mythology from Prabhupada's books. I would find some other way. To teach a mythology, not from Prabhupada's. Not from Prabhupada's books. But she could have went out and she could have worked at Amazon, or she could have worked at Barnes and Noble. She could have worked at any book selling place if she wanted to make a living selling books. And after 30 years, she could be the owner of Barnes and Noble. She could definitely be the West Coast or the CEO of Amazon. Or she could be running Amazon, or she could be running some other online bookstore, or who knows what she could have done with her life. But with that book selling, she could have worked for Avon. I don't know. She could have done a lot of things other than hang around at the Hollywood Bowl selling, little introductions to Bhagavad Gita that talk about how these young girls need to be married to grown men. It's in the introduction to the Bhagavad Gita. I knew it was somewhere, but I couldn't remember where. Or I think it's in there somewhere. Married between 12 and 16 years, married between 12 and 16 years old. So she spent her whole life promoting this cult that is promoting child marriage. It's in the books. It's been in the books forever. It's always been in there. And whether she knows it or not, she should know. I mean, she should, if she's spending that much time selling these books, she should at least know what's in there. She should at least know what's in there. She thinks she knows what's in there. She's like, hey, this is the key to life. This is it. And if she doesn't know that Prabhupada is saying that, you know, 11, 12-year-old girls need to be married, must be married to grown men, she doesn't know that. I mean, come on. What are you doing selling these books for 30 years? You've had 30 years to learn what's in these books, and you haven't learned what's in these books. I don't know, 40 years. You've been in this movement 40 years. You haven't learned about the pedophilia, and you haven't seen gurus fall down, and you haven't seen a $40 million lawsuit, and you haven't seen devotees getting shot in the head, and you haven't seen gurus getting their heads chopped off, and you haven't seen all of these things. You haven't seen all of that. You haven't seen all of that. You were in it before me, and you're still in it selling books at the Hollywood Bowl. You don't know what's in these books. Radharani, you don't know what's in these books. All you people that come into this chat telling me I'm wrong, and I'm this, and I'm that, and I'm disgusting, and I'm high, and I'm Yamadutas, and I'm all kinds of things. You can't see this shit? You want me to believe it? You can't see this? You want me to believe you can't see this? That you can't connect these dots? Prabhupada lays it out, English, plain English. He gives you the word-for-word translation. He gives you the synonyms and the Roman translation. He gives you everything. And they want to sit there and go, well, you're taking it out of context. Well, how the hell am I doing that when he gives me a friggin' 15-page purport on one goddamn verse? How am I taking it out of purport? How come I taking it out of context? Prabhupada won't shut up about all this shit. Prabhupada won't shut up about sex life and Maya Devi and regulative principles. And you think that we're confused when we talk about this stuff? No, we see it. We know what we're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I can't speak for anyone else, but I know what the hell I'm talking about. I know what the hell I'm talking about. It's hard for the ego to accept you've been duped. It is hard. It is hard, but once you accept it, you're free. Because people were duped about so many things. I wasn't duped for 20 years, but we are being duped. We're being duped a whole lifetime of stuff. We're being duped every day, every minute. We're being duped about something, telling us that our clothes aren't clean enough, or that we get better gas mileage if we do this or do that. Or so many things. We've been duped, and we're being duped, and I know it's hard. It's hard to go, damn, I can't believe I believed there was a demon head eating the moon. I agree with you, man. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. I'm gonna tell you what's really hard. It's hard for me to believe that I was like these people that come into this group, into this chat, and start yelling at me. I was like the guy yelling at me, going, oh, you're an idiot, and you're the one that does this. And that was me. That was me way back in the early days of the internet when Yahoo chat was first going, and that was the only place where you could actually do that kind of stuff. And me and a friend of mine, we would go in there and we'd go into the religious chats. and we'd start preaching, and people would come in and they start saying, Hare Krishna this and Hare Krishna that, and we would just be like, rah, 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 blah, 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 blah. And we would say, but see, I didn't know the truth, and the people that were arguing with me, they didn't know the truth, so it was just a stupid back and forth, But that's hard for me to accept. It's hard for me to accept that I was like the people that are in there going, yeah, you an idiot, you're. I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe that was me. That was me. That's why I'm saying, you can't tell me anything. These people, these gurus can't tell me anything. That guy can't tell me anything. The books, they can't tell me anything. But I do feel like it's liberating to just say, man, I was duped. And I feel special because I got out. It is not easy to get out. Let me tell you right now. Everybody that's in here, everybody who's watching, everybody who's got doubts, everybody who's watching right now, they got doubts. And everybody in here who's left, okay? Getting out of a cult is not easy. It's not easy. So the fact that we did it is a big, we got to give ourselves a big, big hand, because it's not easy. It's not easy. Even when cracks form, we want to patch them up. We want to go, well, nah, I can't think about that. Oh yeah, that guru fell down, got his head chopped off, but maybe it's because he wasn't really following. Whatever it is. So the fact that we are out, that we got out, we're fully out, because even when people leave, they're not fully out. They're like, I'm just not doing that anymore. They're still fucked up in the head. But they're just like, I'm not chinging and I'm not chanting. I'm not going to do that anymore. But inside, it's still going on up here. So I'm glad I'm not that guy. I'm glad I'm just completely out. And I'm glad everyone here is completely out. And everybody, give yourself a hand for getting out. Like you did something that's not easy. That's why there's so many of these people in here going, rah, rah, rah. It's not easy for them to see the truth. We put the truth, we hold a mirror up. I can read all the bullshit out of Prabhupada's Vedabase till kingdom come. I can do it every night, every minute of the day. And these people will come in and they will just the same bullshit over and over and over and over again. Because it's not easy. It's just not. And when we're out, we're like, well, maybe if we just show them this and we show them that, and we explain it like this and we explain it like that, they'll wake up. No, because it's self-induced. They've been indoctrinated by that, like that little girl. They've been indoctrinated. And everything makes sense to them, why they're not advancing, why little kids are being abused, why Prabhupada says 11-year-old girls, why this, why that. They got an excuse for it all. They want it to be real. They want this shit to be real just as bad as Hot Lips wants it to be real. They want it to be real. And so, as tough as it is, we gotta give ourselves a hand for doing it. It's really, and I think part of that is accepting that we were duped. We were duped, man. But people are being duped all the time. So that's I don't know what else to say, man. I shake my head sometimes too, man. I shake my head sometimes and I just go, what was I thinking? Look, I took this picture of the Radha Kund. I was right there at this Radha Kund, and this lady over here, right there, she's from the LA Temple, and she just happened to be there. And she just happened to be in Vrindavan when I was there, and she just happened to be at the Radha Kund when I was there. I didn't even know, and I didn't even see her in the picture because I'm looking, the other way. I'm focused on I'm kind of overwhelmed at the whole thing. I'm like, oh my goodness, Radha, this is the Radha Kund. I'm like, this is the Radha Kund. It doesn't look like what I thought it was going to look like. It doesn't look anything like what I thought it was going to look like. And so I'm taking a picture of it, and this lady's over there. And it wasn't until I got home, And this is back in the day when you had to get your film developed. So I got the film developed, and I'm looking at the pictures, and I'm like, oh, that's that lady from the L.A. Temple, and she's still there too. I'm pretty sure she's still at the L.A. Temple, and she's old now like me. Uh, but what a coincidence, And of course, cult members will say, oh, it's Krishna's arrangement. She's in your photo, and she'll be there forever, and somehow bullshit. It's just she just happened to be she just happened to be standing there. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for me today. I want to thank everybody for joining in, exposing these Hare Krishnas and how they are all in on they're all in on the child marriage, and the women less intelligent. Women like to be raped, and the rape. I mean, look, if they're into the child marriage and the pedophilia, and they're defending pedophiles, and they're defending gurus that are pedophiles, and they're defending and letting these guys slide, and going out of their way to find a way to let this guy slide and let that guy slide, and I mean, it's just how can it be anything else? How can it be anything else? They want you to think, oh no, we don't, no. You know what? So I'm glad we expose them, that they do believe this stuff. They do follow Prabhupada, all the stuff that Prabhupada says about Negroes, about women, about racism and sexism and Hitler and Jews and the Holocaust, denying the Holocaust and child marriage, all this stuff. It's right there in the Vedabase. Let me show you again the Vedabase. It's right in here. And you can go find it all. You can just do a search. Just type in women. Just type in women and start reading. I mean, I know it's going to be shocking. It's going to be shocking, but you just got to do it. Type in girls and married. And you're going to get a whole bunch of things about 12-year-old girls being married. I'm not making this stuff up at all. It's so easy. And so you just go to Vedabase.com. Just type in Vedabase.com. That's all you got to do. And you will see it all. You'll see it all. And you don't have to believe me. You can continue to hate me and think I'm an idiot and I'm a piece of shit and I'm this and I'm that and I'm ignorant and I hate Hindus and I'm a bigot and I'm culturally insensitive and I'm this and that. And you can believe all that stuff if you want. I'm reading this right out of Prabhupada's Vedabase. So you got a problem with this, you got a problem with Prabhupada. You don't have a problem with me. That's a Prabhupada problem. If you got a problem with this stuff, that's a Prabhupada problem. That's not a Mike problem. That's a Prabhupada problem. That's a Prabhupada problem, man. So anyway, okay, and I want to thank everybody for watching. Thanks. Please like, share, and subscribe, and get the word out. And everybody have a great day, great night, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are. All of you Hare Krishnas out there, listen, if you want to send me a message or leave a comment, you can. I know I'm loud and obnoxious and I'm rough around the edges, but I'm here for anybody who is trying to leave this cult. That's what I'm here for. And that's why I do these videos. I don't just do this just to yell and scream and put pictures behind me. So if you want to leave me a message, you can. If you don't, if you feel like I can't leave a message, that's crazy. I understand. It's okay. You don't have to worry about it. But anyway, thanks everybody. Everybody have thanks for watching. And here, this is for all the new people watching, because there's always new people watching. I know there's always new people watching. This is me as a Hare Krishna. I was not a guru. I was not a sannyasi or anything like that. I was just the ordinary Bhakta Mike. So here we go.